Hello, everyone. Welcome to another week's episode of Reconnecting the Dots, brought to you by Abdurrahman. Once again, I want to empower and help you to become the best version of yourself through this podcast, and I hope it benefits you. So, take a listen to this week's episode and let me know what you think. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Reconnecting the Dots. This is episode 4 with your host Abdurrahman. The title of this week's episode is called Starving your distraction and feeding your focus. How do you feed your focus and how do you starve your distraction? Believe me, there's a whole lot of things we need to do. There's a whole lot of things we need to get done, especially in this time of ongoing uncertainty, these uncertain times. And I know a lot of people are going through different situations, different issues going on. Believe me, life is what happens to you when you have to go through life. And you just have to trust in God, never despair, be hopeful. And believe me, it's all about how well the journey is, right? Because life is full of many roads. And when I mean many roads, it's full of designated stops as well. So this time eventually is gonna pass, and believe me, everything is actually gonna come back, to normal as the way it is desired. So a lot of people struggle to focus on so many things. It's all about focus, focus, focus. How do you focus? How do you avoid any kind of distraction or any form of distraction in anything you do? Focus is not. It's something that is so paramount in anything we do. If you do not focus, unfortunately, nothing can happen. So how then do you want to achieve a goal when you cannot focus? How then do you want to make your dream come through if you cannot focus? By the way, remember, dreams without goals is just a dream. It remains just a dream. So it means you need to focus. You need to come up with a plan. You need to come up with a goal setting. You need to identify the things you actually really want to do. Maybe you want to build a career. You want to buy something. You want to build on a project, or you want to build a house. Be it anything at all, it is essential for you to focus. So I'm actually just going to share with you some tips on how to avoid distraction and how best you can actually focus on everything you have to do with yourself and with your life. So what is distraction? Distraction comes in any form. Distraction is anything at all that will hinder you and that will become a barrier for you not to be able to achieve anything at all. So do you want to be a distracted person? Well, do you want to be distracted? I'm sure you do not want to be distracted. So remember, you need to train your mind. You need to train your mind to serve you. You need to train your mind on how to act. You need to train your mind on the kind of habit you want to put into place to facilitate your journey to success. At the end of the day, it's all about being able to channel your mind, your goal, to make the dream come through, right? Because if you have a dream and you do not have a goal, then it's just a dream. So I'm saying that you need to take into account your sense of focus. You need to take into account designing a schedule for yourself. You need to take into account creating an ideal workspace for yourself. You need to work extra smart and not work harder. Work extra smart and not harder. So what does that mean? Working extra smart and instead of working harder. So working extra smart means prioritizing yourself. You need to prioritize. It helps you to focus. It helps you to focus to achieve the goal. Turn off your phones at every point in time if you need to do something that is so important and essential, especially when it comes to, actualizing a certain goal either for the week, for the month, or for the year. So imagine you do not focus on what you want to do. How then do you want to achieve anything? It's not going to happen. It doesn't work that way. So it boils down to you being able to train your mind on how to act. You need to train your mind on how to act. And which now, takes me to the moment comes with clarity. Because when you train your mind on how to act, you need to act responsibly. You need to act sustainably. Because it's all about the clarity of the mind. It's all about the clarity of the journey and how you want to navigate yourself to achieve whatever goals or dreams you have in mind. Understand the purpose and the reason why you're doing what you're doing. If you do not understand why you're doing what and where you have to head or what you want to do, I'm sorry, then there's no point. So it means you need to understand why you're doing what you want to do. Don't forget there are others who are competing against whatever it is you want to do as well. There are other people out there who perhaps are also planning on having to build. For instance, maybe you want to go into real estate business, or you want to go into an engineering business, or a farm business, and all that. There's so many competitions out there. So how then do you stand out of all of this competition? Despite all odds, you have to succeed. Despite all odds, you have to make it happen. Despite all odds, you need to come out best. Right? And how do you come out best? By being focused minded. By avoiding any form of distraction. How do you eliminate distraction? By ignoring them. Ignore any form of distraction. If at any point in time, you should plan yourself very well. And there's an adage that says you fail to plan when you plan you plan to fail when you fail to plan. Right? Because if you don't have your plan, if you do not know or understand how you want to navigate that journey to become successful, then what do? You're in limbo, you're stuck. But if you have the clarity of the mind, if you train your mind, then the rest is easy. Imagine somebody who wants to become an engineer or who wants to become a medical doctor, right? Becoming a medical doctor is a sweet thing, it's a good thing, it's a wonderful thing. But what are your action steps? Number one, make sure you have action steps. Make sure you have a goal. Your goal must be aligned to your dream, because dreams without goals remains just a dream. And to cap it all, you have to be focused minded. Those who are probably legends today, or those who are heroes today, it wasn't a smooth journey. They had to be focused minded. They were focused minded. They had their own troubles, they had their own challenges as well. Different things happen on the way and all that. It's not easy, but you have to just keep the focus, regardless of whatever it is that is happening to you, regardless of whatever it is that you're going through. You have to remain focused. I understand it's not easy. I understand it's really tough for some people to actually focus. I understand it's a rough time, but believe me, you trust the outcome. Trust the outcome. And I would also tell you that always put God first in everything and anything you do. Always put God first. When you put God first in everything you do, the rest is easy. because you also have a responsibility as an individual to actualize anything at all you want to actualize. If you have a dream, then what's your goal plan to actualize this dream? Like when I work with I remember working with some of my clients in the past. When I talk to them about what their next or what their goal plans are, I always set for them SMART goal plans. And I call it like individual development plan. So what's your plan? If you want to find a job, what are your action steps? What are your goals? What are your goals to finding employment? If you want to get back on track financially, you want to be financially independent, what are your goal plans? What are your goals? You want to buy a car, what's your plan? You want to go back to school, what's your plan? So all of those things are really very important, and it's all about being focused. When you're focused, when you have clarity of the mind, when you train your mind on how to act, when you train your mind to serve you, you're good to go. You're good to go. Cut off all forms of distractions. Cut off all forms of distractions. And focus on the goal to derive your desired outcome. If you seek to be a life legend, then learn to start. Excuse me. If you seek to be a life legend, then learn to starve your distractions and feed your focus. Very, very important. Very, very important. I know a lot of people out there, some people are trying to find employment. If you need to find employment, what are your goal plan? Come up with a checklist of how many jobs you want to apply for in a day. Maybe you want to submit 2 applications for jobs. That's a goal plan. That's something. Focus, search, do your research, look for the companies you want to apply to. Do your homework as well. Put your resumes together. Boom, and then you make it happen. If you want to become financially independent, then it means that you need to either maybe you want to save maybe $50 or $20 every day or every month. That's a goal. I'm just trying to make you understand on how you can actually focus and just keep any form of distraction out, just out of your sight. Right? It is very important to actually focus. For anything at all we need to do, you need to be focus minded. Learn how to feed your focus and starve your distractions. Distraction is nothing but anything that hinder any goal or any kind of dream we want to do or we want to achieve. And I can share with you some 10 ways we can eliminate distractions. 1, keep your vision and goals in mind. 2, reduce the chaos of your day by focusing on 2 to 3 important tasks. So it means working extra smart and not working harder. Enjoy participation. Do those tasks as soon as possible. Don't leave anything behind. Control your internal distractions. Focus on only the smallest part of your work at a time. Don't overwhelm yourself. Visualize yourself working. And remove external distractions. How do you remove external distractions? If a TV is if a television program is what distracts you, Go into other room. If your kids are the one distracting you, just get up early and do your work before they wake up. If it's the internet distracting you, turn off the modem. It's very easy. It's that simple. It is usually obvious that what you should do, but you still shouldn't overlook this piece of advice. It's really, really, really important. Do not overlook this piece of advice. I mean, controlling your internal distractions. Your internal distractions are one of those problems that can really make you run away from. You need to find ways to prepare your mind for work and find simple ways to keep it from straying to a non-essential thought as well. All these things is all about being focus minded. And a good way to actually prime your mind for work is to have a dedicated workstation. For those who are, working on one or two projects or working to build something, either you're trying to, either you're striving to become an entrepreneur or anything at all you want to do. All of those tips will be very helpful and beneficial to you. Simple enough. When you take breaks, make sure to leave your workstations. That way you'll know when you're allowed to let your thoughts roam free as well. Ultimately, silencing those unwanted thoughts is all about getting some traction going on. So instead of focusing on what's happened internally, focus on getting something done. Once you do that, you'll see that your thoughts will be finishing your task. Your thoughts will be about finishing the task, completing the task. It's that simple. So let me leave you with this. Stay focused. Have a sense of focus. Have a clarity of the mind. Train your mind to serve you. Train your mind on how to act. Once you have all of those things in place, you are good to go. Okay. Thank you all for listening, and thank you all for joining this week's episode of Reconnecting the Dot. And this is your host, Abdurrahman. I hope to see you all next week. And bye-bye. You have just listened to the Reconnecting the Dot podcast with your host, Abdurrahman. Don't forget to subscribe to our podcast on iTunes or Google Play. And thank you for listening, and see you all next week. Bye-bye.